Yo, what's good everybody, it's your boy Malcolm and I'm back for another video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about Ben 10's worst aliens. As most of us know, I'm a pretty big fan of Ben 10 and I love most of his aliens, but as time has gone on, a lot of his aliens have become pretty garbage. There are a lot of new ones that are introduced that already do things that past ones do, and then sometimes past ones get phased out. There's a lot that are just useless. And this video is going to be about finding those useless aliens and cooking them to oblivion. So if you can't tell by now, there's going to be a lot of hating in this video. So if you are a super fan and you cannot handle any criticism or hate on your favorite characters, you might want to click away because I'm about to go in. But before we get down to that, make sure you guys like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit that noti bell because I've been dropping a lot of videos and you guys do not want to miss any. And if you want more nerd content from me, you can check out my podcast, The Storm Podcast, where me and two of my bros talk about all the newest things in anime, comics, TV, movies. If it's nerdy, we talk about it on our podcast. But without further ado, let's get into it. All right, the first alien that we're going to be talking about is pretty self-explanatory. I think we all knew they were going to be on the list just because of their name alone. It's the worst. How could I not put the worst on the list when even Ben knows that this guy fucking sucks? But you want to know the crazy part? He's not as bad as his name would make him sound. He's named the worst. But honestly, I don't think he's Ben's worst alien because he actually does have some positive traits. For instance, the worst is resistant to a lot, whether that's physical damage, fire. There's a lot of things he's resistant to. It's not easy to hurt the worst. But Ben has 50 better aliens that are resistant. Why would I ever pick the worst over Diamond Head, Cannon Bolt, Swamp Fire, Wildvine? There are so many aliens that can heal themselves or are resistant that picking the worst just doesn't make any sense. Not only that, but it's just so ugly. It's this dumb yellow, and then it only has underwear on. It's pretty fucking bad. Honestly, I would be shocked if the worst had any fans out there, but he gotta go on this list. Next up, I think we need to talk about an alien that's very near and dear to my heart. Because in the OG series, when he was first introduced, he was one of my favorites. I liked him a lot. He was super useful. He was overall a great alien. But then Alien Force came around and made him completely redundant and useless. I think a lot of you guys have figured out who I'm talking about by now. It's Ditto. The ability to copy and clone yourself is so OP. When Ditto first came out, it was cool to be able to have Ben turn into a bunch of different versions of himself. He could spread out, he could gather information. It was really, really cool. But Echo can do everything that Ditto did, but 50 times better. Not only can Echo copy himself, but he also has the Sonic Blast, which add an extra level to it, and Echo's more durable. There's really no reason why I would ever pick Ditto if I have Echo in my Omnitrix. Now, the one thing that Ditto can do that Echo can't is he can stop himself in the middle of his clones. So instead of making a full clone, he could stop and like be attached at the wrist or whatever. So he can make like a link of Dittos, but that's pretty useless. Why would I ever want to do that? I love Ditto, but yeah, he's useless. He gotta go on the list. Next up, we have an alien that I think the creators thought were gonna be a fan favorite, but ended up falling very flat. It's Blocks. Here's the thing about Blocks. He has a top tier design, but bottom tier logic. The concept of Blocks just doesn't make any sense. How do we have an alien made out of Legos? Like, am I supposed to believe that there's a planet out there where everything is made out of plastic, a man-made material? He looks cool, but I just don't get it. And yes, Ben has aliens that are made out of other things, but they're all natural. Like he has aliens made out of rocks and diamonds and like plants and shit. Plastic, it just doesn't make any sense to me. But here's my problem with Blocks. He seems like he should be extremely cool because the ability to stretch and build and form into all types of different things is actually really cool. The only problem is his durability is a fucking 0. Every time he turns into anything, he just falls apart. Like, he'll make a big ass wall to keep somebody out and then it'll just get knocked down in a second. He stretches his arm to like climb and swing and things like that, but it just breaks. He's made out of fucking Legos. Legos aren't that strong. Like, if I wanted a defensive alien to build walls and defenses and stuff like that, why wouldn't I just pick Diamond Head? Trust me, I sure as hell wish he was better than he is, but he's just not that good. Block's gotta go on the list. Next up, we got another alien that is just downright redundant. It's Eedle. Genuinely, I would love if one person could go in the comments and explain to me why I would ever pick Eedle when Upchuck is an option. Like, who in the writer's room thought it was even a good idea to create Eedle? Did they forget that Upchuck existed? Eedle eats things and then spits out powerful blasts. Upchuck. And not only that, but Upchuck does it better in every way. Upchuck is better at moving than Eedle is. Upchuck can eat way more than Eedle ever could. Upchuck has those cool tentacles where he can reach out and grab things from afar. There was an episode in Omniverse where the Upchucks ate the planet. Eedle is just slow, he's ugly, and he's absolutely pointless. I'm willing to bet most of y'all forgot he even existed before I said this. I'm picking Upchuck. Now I know this next alien is gonna cause a bit of controversy, and don't get me wrong, I love this alien too. When I was in 4th grade and Alien Force first got announced, when I saw the original lineup, this alien was actually my favorite until I found out that he's extremely fucking useless. Some of you guys probably figured out who I'm talking about by now. It's Goop. Goop should be so awesome. The ability to be made out of goop, be impervious to all damage, to be able to slip into small spaces and do all types of things like that. That should be one of the best aliens that Ben has in his Omnitrix, except for one thing, the stupid fucking gravity disc. If Goop didn't have that gravity disc, he would probably be in Ben's top 5 best aliens of all time. But that gravity disc holds him back so bad. Oh, there's a small gap you need to slip through? Well, Goop can do it, except for he can't, because the gravity disc can't fit. Oh, you want to get in a fight where you don't take any damage and everything's okay? Too bad. They're just gonna hit the gravity disc out of the air. The gravity disc is such a big downside to such a cool alien. If you guys remember, the way that Ben defeated Vilgax at the end of Ultimate Alien was having him turn into Goop, grabbing the gravity disc as a normal human and turning it off. And then he just ripped the Omnitrix right off of Vilgax's chest. Anyone can do that to Ben at any point in time when he turns into Goop. He's just not a good alien. And trust me, it hurts me to put him here because I like Goop so much, but he's just not good. Next up is another alien that I've spoken negatively about before. It's Astrodactyl. Let's be honest. Why wouldn't I just pick Jetray? I get it, Astrodactyl's supposed to be a little bit more for combat, but with the amount of speed that Upgrade possesses and those lasers, he really makes almost every flying alien kinda useless. But Astrodactyl specifically is supposed to be a flying combat alien, and that's exactly what Jetray is. Astrodactyl is just redundant and useless. And on top of that, he doesn't really look that cool. I know some of you guys are gonna disagree with me on that. I know there's some Astrodactyl super fans out there. Clearly, I'm not one of them. If I had an Omnitrix, I'd literally never turn into Astrodactyl. If you guys have watched any of my videos about ranking the OG 10 aliens, you knew this alien was coming. No, it's not who you think it is. It's actually Wildmutt. Wildmutt was a good alien in the original 10 because he was a sensory alien. He was kind of a movement alien, I guess, but there are just so many aliens that do everything he does better now. Like, he's good for moving and traversing, but we have a billion aliens that are faster than him and can do it better. He's good for slashing and cutting and such. We have a billion aliens that can do that better. Sensory, he's up there. He's probably top 3, top 5. But when it comes down to sensory, I would pick Eye Guy or even Blitzwolfer over Wildmutt at this point. There's really not any point to pick him. Even when we get down to his ultimate form, Ultimate Wildmutt really isn't much better than regular Wildmutt. I can't see any situations in which I would ever pick him. And it's a shame because Wildmutt actually does look cool. I like his design a lot. He's one of the cooler looking aliens, but he's just useless at this point. I know you guys knew this was coming because Ben has about 50 different brawler aliens you could pick, so I had to talk about his worst brawler alien in my opinion. We gotta talk about Bullfrag. Bullfrag is just a big ass, dumb ass frog. There's really nothing to make him special or better than any of Ben's other brawler aliens. I guess he has the extendo tongue, but the tongue can't even extend that far without being hurt. There's not much reason why I would ever pick Bullfrag for anything. I just don't think it's good. And on top of that, it's just ugly. I don't think the design is cool. There's not really any benefits. Oh, let me take that back. There's one benefit. Other than forearms, Bullfrag is the only other alien Ben has that's ever pulled a princess, so I guess that's worth something.
That vicious indifference.
Oh, well, it's an instinct, you know. I'm just naturally cold-blooded.
Let's talk about Spitter. Spitter can inflate into a ball-like shape and spit out a concentrated blast of very slippery slime. So what? You mean to tell me that the creators thought that there would ever be a time period in which I would pick Spitter if I wanted to shoot out slippery goo? Like, the goo doesn't even do anything. It's just slippery. I could understand if it was acidic or it exploded or something like that. This just is worthless. If I want to make somebody slip, I'll pick Big Chill and freeze the ground. And if I wanted a projectile alien, I could literally go down a list of 1,000 better projectile aliens than Spitter. It's not that fast. It's not that agile. It's not cool. There is no reason for you to be picking Spitter. I think there's one alien that got hit with the redundant card worse than any other alien, and that's Arcuana. Because if you list out all of Ben 10's aliens, there's one alien that is objectively the best, and that's Big Chill. So why on earth would I ever pick Arcuana? Arcuana can't fly, it can't go invisible, it can't go intangible. Big Chill is just better in every single way. There is no reason Arcuana should even be in this omnitrix. Like, if Ben had the option to delete aliens from the omnitrix, Arcuana should be the first pick. Bro's just taking up space at this point. Speaking of taking up space, Walka Trout. Honestly, I don't even know how many times Ben has turned into Walka Trout, but it has to be less than, what, 3? It's literally just a fish. It's weak, it's slippery, it doesn't do anything positive. It's literally just a fish. Once again, if I could delete aliens, I need to get Walka Trout out of here. I don't even want the chance to accidentally turn into Walka Trout. Get him the fuck out of here. My boy Molestache. Here's the thing about Molestache. He's actually a lot better than he looks. When you first see Molestache, you think he's gonna be completely useless and can't do anything. But that mustache of his can actually do a lot. It can punch people. It can turn into a propeller and fly around. He could be a useful alien if there weren't so many aliens that could do everything that he does better. He's not a good brawler. He flies, but he's not that fast. He's cool. If he would have been in the original 10 aliens, I think maybe he would have got some playtime. He would have been a cool character. But the fact that he came out during Omniverse when there are so many better aliens, he gotta go on the list because there's just no reason to ever pick him. But that's no hate to my boy because I actually do respect Molestache. I just think he was introduced too late to be interesting. All right, y'all want to get controversial? Let's get controversial. Next alien, Alien X. Now I know there are Alien X superfans out there that are gonna be like, Alien X is so strong. Alien X can do anything. He can stop time. He can create universes. He can this, he can that. Yeah, except for the fact that he doesn't. The only reason to turn into Alien X is if you just want to be a big dumb brick that can't fucking do anything. In order for Alien X to be useful, you gotta make them two motherfuckers agree. And here's the thing, they never agree. There was an episode of Ben 10 where they were flying through where all the other Alien X's live, and they were all just frozen in place doing absolutely nothing because they don't do anything. You can't make them agree. Yes, by the end of the show, Ben was granted master control, so he does have the ability to actually make Alien X do things, but let's be honest, that was all the way at the end of the show, and that's such a special scenario. In general, Alien X just isn't a good alien, and I know there are diehards out there that are literally typing out paragraphs in the comments right now to tell me why Alien X is so great. He's not. He's not that good. I'm telling you right now, if you had an Omnitrix, you should never turn into Alien X. I'm so passionate about my Alien X hate because there are people that just die hard for him, and he's not a good alien at all. People think just because he can do a lot makes him great. What makes an alien great is what they actually do. Alien X has a lot of potential, but potential is worth absolutely nothing. Alien X is going on this goddamn list of worst aliens. Enough of the controversial takes. Let's go down to one of the most hated aliens of all time, FasTrack. When I was first introduced to FasTrack, I hated him. I thought he was absolute garbage. But then I got on Ben 10 Twitter and Ben 10 Reddit, and I found out that people absolutely hate this alien. Like, I dislike him, but people feel so strongly against him. And I get why. He's just the worst version of Accelerate. FasTrack is supposed to be more combat focused than Accelerate is, but he's not good enough at combat to where you would pick him over a different agile combat alien, and he's not fast enough to be faster than Accelerate, so there really isn't any reason to pick him. Not only that, why did they make him the same color as Accelerate? Did they really just think we were gonna forget that Accelerate ever existed? Honestly, it's to the point where I feel like whoever created him was the one who forgot that Accelerate existed. Because this alien is just so redundant and useless. Who is picking FasTrack? FasTrack is so worthless. I like Accelerate better. Get this man out of my face. I never want to see him again. Next up is Nanom. Here's the problem. Nanom is really just too small to do anything. Gray matter is small, but Nanom is just way too small. And it's not like it's ever really necessary to be as small as Nanom is. It would be different if maybe he had the ability to like interface with technology, or if he was super smart or something like that. He's really just a small alien with mild electricity blasts. Like, I get it if you have to be small to like sneak into somewhere, but Ben has so many aliens that are invisible or intangible. So when you have invisibility and intangibility, it just makes Nanom kind of stupid. If I want a small alien, I'ma pick gray matter and also get the power of the smartest alien to ever exist. Nanom, you going in the trash. And now for my final alien pick. If you know me, I don't even have to say what alien this is. You've been waiting for me to say this alien the entire time, and guess what? I've been waiting to say this alien the entire time. Out of all of Ben 10's aliens, there is one alien that I hate and have disdain for over all of the rest, and that alien is fucking Ripjaws. And every single time I say something negative about Ripjaws, here come the Ripjaws superfan. He was my favorite in the original 10. I think Ripjaws looks so cool. He can swim fast in water. He can rip through steel. Who fucking cares, dude? Let's get one thing straight right off the rip. Ripjaws does not look cool. Ripjaws is ugly as hell.
Oh, Ripjaws. What a ripoff.
He is a big, ugly fish. His teeth are ugly. His eyes are ugly. That little dumb thing dangling in front of his face is ugly. He doesn't look cool. He looks dumb. Not only is he ugly, but he's useless. Ben has a bunch of different water aliens that are faster than Ripjaws in the water and better than Ripjaws in the water. All Ripjaws does is swim and rip through steel. Who cares that he can rip through steel? If you were to go through all of Ben 10's aliens, it's harder to find aliens that can't rip through steel than the ones that can. That is not impressive by any means. I don't get why that's supposed to be the draw to this alien. Even in the original 10 aliens, Ben had better aliens that could rip through steel than Ripjaws. So what? And look, I get it. He was the only water alien in the original 10, so I will give him that. In the original 10, he had some use in the 2 times that Ben needed to go in water. But guess what? Outside of water, he is so useless. He's not that strong, he's not that agile, and he can't even be out of water for extended periods of time. And don't get me started on if there's a fire around, then he's completely cooked. And I know a lot of my Ripjaws hate is straight bias and subjectivity, but I don't care. I hate this alien with a burning passion. And I can already see the comments now of all the Ripjaws super fans, and I'm sorry for hating on y'all favorite alien, but he sucks. Y'all needed to hear this. He sucks. If you had a full omnitrix of Ben 10 aliens and you ever pick Ripjaws, you are bugging out of your mind. What a waste of space. But enough on Ripjaws. I'm glad I ended the list off with him because I just hate Ripjaws so much. But thank you guys so much for watching the list. Please let me know if there are any aliens that I missed that are absolutely useless. useless, because there are some that are useless and redundant, but I just didn't want to list out all of them. But overall, he got some bad aliens. Let me know which aliens you guys think are absolutely useless, and let me know what aliens you guys feel that I put on this list that actually do have some use, because I've been wrong before. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't done already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like, because you watched till the end of the video, so you're probably like to hit that like button and hit the noti bell, because I got more videos coming you guys' way very soon and you don't want to miss them. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.